Today we will be learning about the relationship of Virginia and the U.S. to the global economy. Virginia and United States businesses have become multinational in their quest for resources, markets, and profits. This simply means that companies are not just inside the United States now. For instance, Starbucks, which makes coffee, they might be getting their coffee beans from Ecuador, Guatemala, could be coming from Ethiopia. They're bringing them to the United States, they're brewing them. They're also doing sales in Canada. It's a global economy. Things simply are not done just inside the United States anymore. Another big thing that's happened in recent decades, the U.S. government has worked to reduce barriers to international trade. Free trade increases worldwide material standards of living. So it's very easy to get goods from other parts of the world, and a big part of that is free trade. We're trying to make it easier to trade products from other countries. The gains from free trade are not distributed equally, and some individuals or groups may lose more than they gain when trade barriers are reduced. For instance, a company in the United States might decide to open up a call center in India, which means they're going to lose jobs in the United States. This comic is an example of how some people feel U.S. workers, which are showed over here, are losing their jobs and they're losing their rights as corporations are getting rich because they're hiring workers from other countries to do the work. However, those workers in other countries are getting very low wages and they often have no rights. They can work 13, 14 hours a day in very hot conditions, and they can get paid $2 an hour, whereas in the United States, they can get paid $8, $9, $10 an hour. So for free trade, despite mutual benefits from trade among people in different countries, many nations employ trade barriers to restrict free trade for national defense reasons, to protect key individuals, or because some companies and workers are hurt by free trade. For instance, North Korea, we are not doing trade with because we do not want to be helping them at the moment. Sometimes companies feel, or a country may feel, if Starbucks comes in and starts opening up stores or supplying coffee for a cheaper rate, then maybe a coffee company in that country will no longer be able to survive. Here are some of the trade agreements that the United States is part of. The biggest one is the North American Free Trade Agreement. This created a free trade zone of Canada, Mexico, and the United States intended to eliminate trade barriers, promote fair competition, and increase investment opportunities. Some people say there are negative results of it. Some feel that there are low wages and poor working conditions for foreign workers and loss of jobs in America. Essentially, there have been some companies that in the United States that felt it was too expensive to be here. They closed their shops and they went to Mexico where the labor is cheaper. Which, when they do that, it does create a loss of American jobs. So the maquiladora system allows international corporations to set up factories in Mexico to produce goods that are exported back to the original country. Corporations are able to avoid taxes and trade restrictions. So once again, if a company in the United States has to pay taxes for everything that they make here, everything that they build, they'll go to the maquiladora system in Mexico where there's less restrictions and they can also avoid taxes. Another thing is WTO, which is the World Trade Organization. It was established in 1995. Its role is administering trade agreements, handling disputes, and providing a venue for negotiating among its member nations. So this is simply a place where many countries are going to go. They're going to meet there. They're going to try to come up with agreements. These are a lot of countries that believe free trade is good for the world economy. So some people are against it. They feel it promotes worldwide deregulation, environmental degradation, and widens the gap between the rich and poor countries.